Welcome back to my podcast, The 5 Minute Echo. Last week, I went to Satara, a city about 100 kilometers from Pune. My father in law was with me. He hadn't been there in years. Within 10 minutes, he said, "This city has changed a lot. Wide roads, new cafes, new commercial buildings, nothing flashy, just quietly upgraded." And that's when it clicked. Just like childcare is an invisible infrastructure for families, jobs are invisible infrastructure for cities. When jobs move, cities change, slowly, quietly, and usually before small investors, or as the financial media now calls them, retail investors, notice. Today, I want to talk about where jobs are quietly moving, how that is causing a reverse migration, and why that creates a rare opportunity for commercial rental income outside the metros. This isn't about hype, this is about noticing growth before it gets loud. Earlier, it used to be simple. Tech jobs meant Bengaluru, Pune, Chennai, or Hyderabad, but that story is changing now. Zoho is building real product teams in towns like Tenkasi and Tirunelveli and not just in Chennai. HCL has thousands of employees in Coimbatore and growing teams in Nagpur and Lucknow. Now, several state governments, including Maharashtra, are actively promoting GCC investments in cities like Nagpur, Nashik, and Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. Modern GCCs increasingly run product engineering, R&D, and innovative teams. Cities such as Vadodara, Bhubaneswar, Coimbatore, and Kochi are now being referenced as emerging innovation hubs. Governments are also encouraging this shift, offering policies that support research centers and technology parks outside major metros. The logic is simple. If jobs spread geographically, economic growth spreads with them, and real jobs create real demand, especially for commercial spaces. Satara isn't growing by accident. The Maharashtra government has cleared land for an IT park there. There's also a tech and training center planned to skill local youth. Jobs come first, then comes shops, offices, clinics, and cafes. That's how cities grow, not with billboards, but with payrolls. When jobs move closer to smaller cities, people don't rush to metros anymore. They stay closer to family. Costs drop, quality of life improves. And suddenly, what local entrepreneurs need is again shops, offices, service centers, and co working spaces. That's commercial demand, not theory. Here's the part metro investors usually miss. In smaller cities, you can buy small retail shops or office spaces for anywhere in between 40 to 90 lakh rupees, depending on location. Rents can range from 30,000 rupees to 80,000 rupees per month, depending on footfall and usage. That's roughly 6 to 8% rental yield. More importantly, the entry ticket is smaller. And for middle or upper middle class, that matters more than anything else, the entry ticket size. This allows diversification into high rental yield commercial property, something that's almost impossible in metros unless you've got crores of rupees lying around. In metros, commercial property usually starts at numbers most of us don't even consider. Now, some of you might be thinking, you're giving all these stats, but have you invested like this? Fair question. I've invested in a residential property in the western IT suburban area of Pune a few years back. After maintenance, I earn about 5% or so as rental yield. And yeah, I'm completely out of funds now. But there's another way investors can get exposure to commercial real estate: REITs, or a real estate investment trust. A REIT is basically a company that owns large income generating properties like office spaces, malls, or business campuses. Instead of buying an entire property, you can buy small units of that portfolio on the stock market just like a share. India currently has about 5 listed REITs, and over the past few years, they have delivered roughly 6 to 8% annual yields through distributions, along with the potential price appreciation. So, even if you can't buy a commercial property directly, you can still participate in the rental income, the commercial rental income. So, this episode isn't an advice. No, it's a perspective from someone who's already paid the metro prices. There's another question. I live and work in Pune. How do I manage property elsewhere? The simple answer is you don't. Property managers. They handle tenants, rents, agreements, maintenance, all for a small fee. Everything is digital. Under the One State One Registration law, effective May 2025, introduced by Maharashtra government, you can now register a leave and license agreement for any flat, shop or office at any sub-registrar office in Maharashtra regardless of where the property is located. In theory, you manage returns, and not the repairs. Smaller cities won't give you overnight explosions, but what they do is steady tenants, better yields, and predictable cash flow. Sometimes the smartest investments are the most boring ones. Maybe sometimes the real opportunity isn't about higher returns, it's about getting access to an asset class earlier. My father in law said Satara has changed. Maybe it's time our investment thinking changes too. Not all growth is loud, some of it just echoes. This is the 5 Minute Echo. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one.